In today's video, we'll be looking at how to create macros in Affinity and also use those macros to batch process our image files with multiple images inside of Affinity. So before starting the video, if you require the images that we'll be using in this video tutorial, please find the link for the images in the description. In addition to that, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks related to Affinity. Now without any further ado, let's get started. So before creating our new macro, first of all, let's open an image inside of Affinity. And to do that, I'll simply open our Finder window right here. And I'll select or open our images folder, and inside of images folder I'll click and drag one of the images to open it inside of our Affinity like so. And after clicking and dragging, now our image has been opened. Next, I'll open all of the panels including the macro panel that we will be using in order to create new macros and to see all of the features inside of macros panel. So I'll navigate up to our Windows menu right here, and inside of Windows menu, you can see that we have pixel option. Navigate inside of pixel option and then first of all select macros. And as soon as we select macros, now we have our macros panel successfully open. Likewise, again, I'll go up to our Windows menu, and inside of Windows menu, I'll navigate to our pixel option, and now I'll select library and activate our library panel like so. And similarly, I'll again navigate to our Windows menu, and inside of our Windows menu, I'll again navigate to pixels, and this time I'll select batch to open our batch panel. And inside of our batch panel, we'll be viewing all the images that is being processed with the macro that we'll create in a moment. So now, first of all, let's select our macro panel. And to understand the concept of macro is similar to how actions panel is in Photoshop. That is, we can adjust or add multiple image editing layers and workflows inside of our layers panel, and all of our actions that we have performed will be recorded inside of our macros panel. So it is similar to how actions panel work inside of Photoshop. And the next thing that we should note here is macros in Affinity only applies to our Pixel Studio, but not Vector and Layout Studio. So in order to work with macros, make sure that you are currently in our Pixel Studio inside of Affinity. So now let's get started with macros. So inside of macros panel, you can see that we have multiple icons at the top of the macro panel, where our first icon is import icon, where we can import different macros that other artists or photo editors has created inside of our Affinity window, and then apply those macros in our photo that we will be working or we are working. And the next icon that we have is export icon. We can also export any of the macros that we create inside of our photo editing workflows, so that any of the macros that we create can easily be imported by other artists inside of their work. So the next icon that we have is the icon to add to library. So we can also add any macros that we create inside of our macros panel inside or to our libraries panel that you can see here. And inside of our libraries panel right now, by default, you can see that different macros are available to use for us that has already been created by Affinity. So let's navigate back to our macros panel, and now we have other icons, which is the reset icon. So reset icon basically, as the name suggests, resets our macros. That is, after we have created multiple macros, it will simply get rid of each of the steps that we have created inside of the macro. And we have similarly the record icon to record our macros, stop icon to stop recording, and the play icon to play our macros once we have created our new macro. So now let's begin creating our new macro. So before creating our new macros, always make sure that you click on this start recording icon right here. And after clicking on the start recording icon, you can now see that our stop recording icon has been activated. Now let's add different filters and adjustment layers to our existing nature image in order to edit the image. So I'll navigate down to our layers panel, and inside of our layers panel you can see that we have this particular adjustment layer icon, and I'll click on it. And first of all, let's add any of the adjustment layer. I'll add curves adjustment layer first, and now I'll adjust the brightness and contrast of our overall image. So I'll simply click on any point on the top right corner of our inside of our curves panel, and I'll drag it to the right or to the top like so. And as soon as we do that, now you can see that it is making our image a bit brighter. And now I want to decrease or dim down our shadowy areas inside of our photo, and to do that I'll simply click and drag the point all the way to the down slightly like so. And now you can see that we have created the overall contrast to our image. And I'll simply close down our curves panel or curves box. Similarly, I can add multiple other adjustment layers. I can also add white balance, and then I can adjust the white balance to make it much more cooler like so. As you can see here, now our image is becoming a bit cooler. So I'll set the value to -42% for now. And we can also adjust the artificial light, which is tint. So to do that, I'll simply click on the slider and drag it to the left a bit to introduce the green tints inside of our image. And now after I'm satisfied, I'll simply close the white balance box. Next, we can also add other adjustments or filters. So I will add a bit of blur by selecting Gaussian blur. And now I'll add a small value of blur that is somewhere at maybe 0.5 pixels for now. No, it's too blurry. I'll decrease the blur and I'll add the blur to somewhere at 0.1 pixels, and then I'll close the Gaussian blur box. Now you can see that our image is a bit blurry. So we have added multiple adjustment layers as well as filters to our layers panel on top of our image. And on the left, if you notice here, then you'll see that all of the actions that we have created or done to add different adjustment layers and filters have been recorded inside of our macros panel. So you can see that we have added the curves adjustment first, then we have set our curves adjustment parameters, and then white balance adjustment parameters have been added, and likewise at the end we have added our Gaussian blur. So all of the actions has been recorded inside of the macros. So similarly, you can also use any of the tools inside of your images as well. So you can use the brush tool or any of the tool inside of your images. So maybe we can simply point and click to add a brush tool, and now you can see that any of the tools can also be applied inside of our images, and that will also be recorded inside of the macros. And likewise, any other actions you perform inside of your image will be recorded inside of the macros panel. So now after we are satisfied with our macros that we have created, we'll simply navigate up to our stop recording icon and click on it. And after clicking on stop recording icon, now you can see that we have successfully added or created our macros steps individually. So these are the steps that we have applied sequentially, which has been created inside of the macros panel. So now we can play these steps once again by simply clicking on this icon to a new photo by opening it, or we can add these macros inside of our libraries panel. So to do that, we can simply navigate up and click on add to library. And as soon as we select add to library icon, now you can see that a new box of add macro has been opened, and we can select the category. However, the category will always be set to default with only one option of default. And now I'll give a new name right here. So I'll type in a name of, let's say, new edit, and I'll hit OK. After hitting OK, now you can see that our new macro has been added to library like so, which is new edit. And now if we navigate to our previous macro panel, and if we want to get rid of all the actions, we can simply click on this particular reset icon and get rid of them. And now let's move back to our library panel, and inside of library panel now you can see that we have our new edit macros that has been successfully saved. Next, let's do batch processing of multiple images by applying this newly created macros to all of the images. And to do that, let's navigate up to our file menu right here and navigate below to the option called new image process. And inside of new image process, select batch job. And now as soon as you select batch job, you'll get this new batch job box right here. First of all, we should add multiple images inside of our batch processing. And in order to do that, in the left source box, you can see that below here, there's the add button. Click on add button. And inside of add button, now let's select our multiple images. Hold down the shift option or shift key in our keyboard and select all of the images that are available here, and then navigate below and click on open. So as soon as we click on open, you can see that all of our image has been successfully loaded inside of the source box right here. And now let's move to the next option that we have, which is output. So it basically asks us where we want to save these newly processed images. So we can select either save into original location, which will save into the file where we have opened the images from by default, or we can also choose any other file location to save. So I'll click or select save into, and then I'll select this particular option icon that is available here. And you can now see that a new box appears, which basically asks us where we want to save the multiple images to. So we'll simply click on batch processed file and then navigate below and hit OK. So now it has set our new location where we want to save all of our batch processed files to save into. Likewise, we can also select an option regarding which file format we want to save into. So we can save it as JPEG, as PNG, as TIFF, and many more. So I'll select to save it as JPEG, and we can also set width and height values manually. However, I want to maintain the aspect ratio as it is, so I'll make sure that the checkbox at the right of the aspect ratio column that is indicated by the A character has been checked right here. And next we can also select the macros that we want to apply. So first of all, I'll select and add the newly created macros called new edit and click on apply. Now you can see that it will move our new edit macros at the right called applied macros box. And similarly, we can also add multiple macros inside of this box to apply multiple macros. So we can also click on flip horizontal and hit on apply button to add flip horizontal macros as well. So to understand right here, we can apply multiple macros that is available. So we can also remove by simply selecting and clicking on remove button right here. However, I'll show you by adding multiple macros in this tutorial. So I'll select this flip horizontal as well and click on apply. And now you can see that our flip horizontal macros has been added. Likewise, we can also select other macros like convert to RGB and hit on apply to add convert to RGB macros as well. Now what it does is it will process all of these three macros that we have added from our libraries panel. So now after we are satisfied with our settings of new batch job, I simply navigate below and click on OK. And now you can see on the left it is applying all of the macros, and it has successfully applied all of the macros. So now we'll navigate below to our Finder window and let's navigate back to our batch processed file right here. And inside of the batch processed file, now you can see all of the files has been batch processed and created inside of the batch processed file. So we have the Affinity edit files right here, as you can see here, and we have individual JPEG file as we have selected to import each individual images to be saved as a JPEG file as well inside of the batch process job box. So this is how we can create a new macro and batch process inside of Affinity easily. So next time, if you're working with multiple images or large number of images, inside of Affinity, this batch processing feature and macro feature will definitely come in handy. So if you find this video helpful, please like the video, and to get more tips and tricks related to Affinity, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching this video and see you on the next video.